What's going on, guys? ChillisFM here. I finally had a positive day in the Master League Premier Classic Cup, and it is all thanks to you guys. In my last video, I let y'all know I have been struggling. I asked for your strongest teams, and you guys came through with a ton of team recommendations. So thank you to everybody that suggested teams. I tried out a few of them. Some of them I just didn't have the Pokemon to try out, and some of them I just didn't get a feel for. However, this team over here was incredible for me. I played it for the last two sets of my day, and both of those sets were both positive. I went 9-1 in those two sets, so I love this team. Like, everything about this team makes sense. I'll talk about it a lot throughout this video. Just the dynamics of it, Dragonite being in the lead, Metagross being the closer, everything makes sense on this team. But thank you to all of you for your recommendations, because even if it didn't help me, there's other people looking through those comments, looking for strong teams, so you're definitely helping out somebody. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into some of these battles. Leave a like, leave a comment down below. Snorlax up against the Togekiss here. It's Togekiss lead, right, into my Dragonite. Horrible lead. But every time I see a fairy, there's always a Gyarados and likely their own Snorlax in the back. So a lot of times I'm able to flip switch with my best buddy Snorlax. Now, I'm running Skull Bash on it. I would recommend you run Superpower on this team. Skull Bash is mostly because I didn't want to play charge move, charge TM roulette and try to get it, because Snorlax has a crazy amount of charge moves in its move pool, like so many for Snorlax, which is kind of cool actually, but it's annoying to try to get the right one. So I went Skull Bash because I figured most people won't expect it. It does raise your defense whenever you are able to land it, and it just makes Snorlax even harder to take down. So it worked out pretty well for me in these two sets, but I think in the long haul, you will want Superpower. All right, into this one, up against an Excadrill lead. So this is a good lead for Dragonite now, since we do have Superpower. However, we get a ton of lag there. They get a bunch of free mud shots. I'm gonna eat this Rock Slide, and you're gonna see I'm not even close to the first Dragon Claw. I should have definitely been closer than that. So I'm going to actually bait. Normally you don't have to bait, you can go straight Superpower, but since they got those extra mud shots, I felt like I needed to, and we do pull a shield with that first bait. So going to be shielding up this next Rock Slide. I should outpace to the Superpower from this point. Going to be throwing it before they get to the next Rock Slide. Do they want to double shield their Excadrill here? They do. Very interesting. I'm actually going to be swapping out now into my Snorlax. I figure if I end up with my Metagross aligned with this in-game, they are in Meteor Mash range, so I should be able to handle it with the shield advantage. Now they're going to be coming in with their Gyarados. Now, this is where Skull Bash can be really nice. Unfortunately, they make it to the Aqua Tail before I throw the Skull Bash, but Snorlax is super bulky. Like, we take it, no big deal. Here comes the Skull Bash. Watch how much damage this does to a Gyarados. Absolutely ridiculous. Plus, again, my Snorlax is best buddied, so we do get that lick breakpoint. If you have a best buddy Snorlax, you're able to win against Gyarados, basically. If you don't have it best buddied, it's a lot tougher to flip those matchups. Anyways, in comes the Excadrill. We're going to be coming in now with our Dragonite. Unfortunately, they do make it to the charge move there, which, by the way, that was a big brain play there. They throw the Drill Run, that way their Primarina gets a little bit of energy before they, like, since I no-showed it, whereas Rock Slide, they wouldn't have. Unfortunately for them, I had Metagross in the back, which just hard walls it. All right, into the next one, up against another Excadrill lead, this one without lag. So you can see how you're supposed to play out this matchup. You're going to eat the first Rock Slide, going to be building up some extra energy and throwing before they're at the second Rock Slide. Going straight for the Superpower. Again, you don't need to bait in this matchup. The energy difference is not that big between Dragon Claw and Superpower. And if they no-show to Dragon Claw, you're just going to, like, be embarrassed, to be honest, because you don't need to. So go for the next Superpower here. We can also win this in the twos, by the way. You're not going to see it here because I prefer to have a shield for my Metagross because of, I was watching Purple Kyogre talk about this. Metagross with a shield, and especially with a shield and with an energy lead, doesn't get beat by like anything. So yeah, I'd like to save my shield for Metagross in the back. You're going to see a lot of that in this video. That's what makes Metagross such a phenomenal closer in this meta. They're going to be coming in with their own Snorlax. They caught the body slam, a little bit unfortunate. I know they won't superpower here because superpower only does like 35, maybe less than 35%. So definitely would not have been lethal from that range. Going to be going for the Skull Bash now. Does a ton of damage to their Snorlax. Skull Bash and body slam, basically the same energy efficiency. So there's no reason not to go for Skull Bash when shields are down. And then I'm going to be going for the next body slam here. Did you see how little their body slam did? Actually amazing. They have to throw a whole nother body slam and they do it right on CMP. So I'm going to be perfectly fine with that. I know they're basically dry on energy at this point. Going to come in with Metagross to get the aggressive farm down, right? Metagross with energy. Phenomenal. Now, they do still have this Excadrill that I have to deal with. It does have some energy, and I'm trusting that my counts are right. I'm going to be doing 1, 2, 3 more bullet punches and catching on my Dragonite. Beautiful. So now we have that energy lead on Metagross. No longer do we have a shield, but they're going to be coming in with a Gyarados running Waterfall. We're going to be able to make it to this Dragon Claw here, hoping that we can make it to a second one, but you're going to see the waterfalls are a little bit too oppressive, takes me down, but it doesn't matter. We got Metagross with the Meteor Mash ready to go. This is resisted, but Metagross doesn't care. Like, Meteor Mash hits so hard. And we're going to just bullet punch down the Excadrill. By the way, they had 3 Metagross answers on that team. Like, technically, Metagross was triple hard countered there, and Metagross KO'd all 3 of them. So it felt good. It did feel good. Into the next one, up against a Gyarados lead. You want to stay in and see which fast move they're running here. If they're running Dragon Breath, you can immediately swap out into your Snorlax because Metagross can handle a Dragon Breath Gyarados. However, if they're running Waterfall, you definitely want to stay in because number 1, you're resisting all the waterfalls on Dragonite. And number 2, Metagross doesn't normally want to see that, right? Unless it has a big energy lead or like 1 to 2 shields up, you don't want to see that. They're going to be swapping out into Excadrill. I'm going to be throwing that superpower and then coming in with Snorlax. So again, here's why Dragonite is such a good lead. Unless you see a fairy type, you're going to be able to get shields from your opponent, right? There was a Gyarados. We're able to do a ton of damage to them. And then we're also able to get shield advantage because of superpower now. And like, say you have something like a Dragon Breath Gyarados, and like later on, you can farm something down and you can have your superpower ready to go. So that's what makes like Dragonite so good, right? As a lead against fairies, still really rough. But again, like I said, most of the time so far when I've seen fairies, we've been able to flip it. Now there's definitely ways that people with the fairy type leads can play it. Like if I bring in my Snorlax, they could stay and chip away at my Snorlax and then still have enough health on their fairy type to win in game. Anyways, I was reading this line to be double steal, so I saved 2 shields of my Metagross, expecting their own Metagross or maybe a Magnezone in the back. However, it's double ground with Garchomp in the back, which would normally be horrible if they had Sand Tomb, but this one does not. They have Earth Power instead, so I'm going to be able to get to the back-to-back Meteor Mashes. I didn't realize they hard swapped when I played these battles. It was in the middle of the night, to be honest. Wyatt woke up in the middle of the night. I was up with him. I was like, you know what, let's just knock out some battles. So I paused there to make sure they don't catch. They couldn't have caught. Anyways, all they have left now is this Gyarados, pretty low health. We're going to be able to outpace to the Meteor Mash. Of course, this will be lethal. And then they have the Excadrill, which is just going to take a couple more bullet punches to take out. So GG's, well played to that opponent. Again, like 3 answers to Metagross, and we just swept with Metagross. That's how good it is when you have that energy and shield advantage. Like it's so good as a closer. I don't understand why I wasn't running this as a closer already. I kept trying it in the lead position and I couldn't make it work because I kept running into the Excadrill leads. And then, anyways, let's jump into the next battle. Here's Metagross. And we're going to be able to chip it with the body superpower and then come in with our Snorlax. Unfortunately, not able to get the lick down. I thought I was going to be able to get it. It's not great because they do have a Haxorus that's going to come in and farm down my Snorlax. And I decided to go for the body slam here because I don't want to give them extra farm after raising my defense with the Skull Bash. So first body slam connects, second body slam might even get a shield here because Haxorus is pretty glassy. Yeah, we grab a shield with our Snorlax. I don't want them to get a ton of energy, so I aggressively swap in with my Dragonite, and in the back, it's going to be a Magnezone. So, again, Dragonite, so good. We're going to be able to bait with the Dragon Claw there. And now they're going to have to throw a Wild Charge to KO. And they just, they stall out. We're able to get to the superpower, take out the Magnezone. All they have left is this Haxorus here. By the way, if they would have thrown one charge move, I still had a shield. I would have been able to make it to the superpower even if they baited. So the game wasn't winnable for them at that point. But definitely like holding on to the energy was not the best play. So there we go. There's the first 5-0, or however many of the battles I showed from the first set. It takes me up from 22-63 to 23-35. So pretty big gains from that first set. Let's jump into the second one. Up against a Haxorus lead, shiny Haxorus lead, and they swap out into a shiny Best Buddy Metagross. Like, this trainer is just here to flex. We're going to be going for the superpower here. I'm expecting this to be the same team, right? Maybe Magnezone in the back, but we're going to play it differently. I'm going to be eating, of course, this first Meteor Mash. Does about 50% to Snorlax. But this time I'm not going to go for the lick down. We know how that ended last time. Going to be throwing the Body Slam here plenty early to take out this Metagross. They're going to come back in with the Haxorus. Of course, they're going to be looking for an aggressive farm down, but we haven't had to give up a shield this time. So I don't feel like I need to try to get out of this. I don't need to get into Dragonite. I can't either. So they're going to get the farm down, but I can come in with my Dragonite. I have 2 shields. We're able to get that Haxorus pretty low, almost into the red already. And they're going to be throwing here. Now, Dragon Claw would definitely hurt. I do respect the damage from it and use a shield. What did they have in the back? It's going to be a Florges. So very interesting. Did not expect that. However, we do have a very hard wall with Metagross. Now, this is the first game y'all have seen where Metagross does not have that shield advantage or even the energy advantage. So it's not as good when you don't have it, to be honest. But we're going to be able to make it to this Meteor Mash here regardless. I'm going to make it to another one, but I'm not going to end up throwing it. I'm going to go ahead and eat here. If it's a Moonblast, so be it. And it is. My opponent going straight for it. You love to see it. I'm going to be trying to get the farm down. We're not able to get it, but I figure they're deep in the red. Even the double resisted Dragon Breath should be enough to take them out from here. We'll save the shield for our Dragonite because we knew this Haxorus still had energy. We'll easily get the farm down here. Can we get the farm down against the Florges? Please, please, please. Yeah, Dragonite's able to clutch up. So GG's, well played to my opponent. Definitely, maybe I should have thrown the Meteor Mash. Maybe, because then I could have just Dragon Clawed the Florges, but it worked out. And then the next one, Garchomp lead. So if it's Mud Shot, that's a great lead for Dragonite. Since it's Dragon Tail, it's not. Like, you're going to see, they're going to shield once and just farm all the way down. They don't even have to throw the Sand Tomb or anything. That's insane. Like, what? I did not expect that to happen. But anyways, we're coming in with Snorlax to soak the damage here. They do go straight for the Earth Power. I'm assuming that they're not running Sand Tomb since they went straight for it. But we'll have to see. I mean, Dragon Claw or Dragon, what is it? Dragon Tail and double nukes is kind of crazy. But I don't know. We'll find out. Going for the Skullvash here against the Metagross. We did have to give up a shield, but I know they have to throw more energy after I threw that Skullvash. So we're going to go ahead and let Snorlax go. And again, we're just setting up our own Metagross to get that energy lead here. We don't have the shield advantage, but we can get the energy lead. So that's where we are going to be going for. We get the energy lead, and in the back, it's a Waterfall Gyarados, which just feels horrible. Unfortunately, we throw on alignment too. We give them a free waterfall. This game is like not winnable, right? But I like to play it out just in case. And here's the just in case. They come in with the Garchomp. We're going to get the farm down. We are at the back-to-back Meteor Mashes. Now notice what I did there. We were at 100 energy. I knew they were getting a free waterfall no matter what. So I still threw one Bullet Punch. And again, I knew they were going to get a waterfall if I threw immediately. Or worst case, it's CMP. And I was going to win it. So we were making sure we get every last bit of damage with the Bullet Punch. This was CMP here. And yes, the Meteor Mash is barely enough to take them out. Every last Bullet Punch mattered there. So managing your energy efficiently is so key. It's so key. All right, into the next one. Going to be up against a Magnezone lead. Not the best lead, not the worst lead, right? We have Superpower, which will probably one-shot the Magnezone after the Dragon Breaths. We're going to be baiting with the Dragon Claw, and we do grab a shield. Now they are building up a ton of energy. They're at the back-to-back wild charges, so I decided to go for the catch on my Snorlax. Is it a wild charge? Yes, it is. And they're going to be swapping out, bringing in a Machamp. Shiny Machamp, very cool to see. Going to be going for the Body Slam. Recognized I was not going to make it to the Skull Bash, even if they go for the hard farm down here. So I throw the Body Slam, but they do get the hard farm down afterwards. And man, they have so much energy. They have enough that they can bait and go for the Rock Slide. So I'm going to come in with Dragonite. I thought I was at the Claw, so I try to click it, but we are not able to CMP. And at this point, I'm pretty sure that Machamp's going to win CMP, and I'm probably wrong about that. But when I was playing this, I was like, Machamp's going to win CMP. I just need to go for the farm down. And then we get all this lag. I had to give up both shields, and we get this lag. I think they got some extra counter damage there. I know this Magnezone has the Wild Charge ready to go, so I'm going to immediately throw the Superpower. This will be either burning their last shield or KOing the Magnezone, and it does burn the last shield. However, we got Metagross without the energy lead, without the shield advantage. It's not looking great. What's in the back? It's another Waterfall Gyarados. So like, there's just no winning this. Yeah, I mean, my only play really, I think, was to just catch that second Wild Charge on Metagross. But then they're just going to outpace, and they're going to be able to take out my Metagross before I even get off a charge move. Yeah, I don't think there was really a win con there. After I got baited by the Machamp, I don't think there was a win con. But GG's, well played to that opponent. Anyways, into the next one, Dragon Breath Gyarados. So we want to get out of that matchup, immediately come in with the Snorlax. We're getting some nice lick damage here. They're going to be throwing the Aqua Tail. Oh, actually the Crunch. And of course, getting the defense drop, because that's... happens all the time. Gonna go for the Skull Bash against the opposing Shadow Snorlax. Very cool to see. It does a ton of damage. Now, I'm like, my defense has rose. Superpower does like 35%. I should survive this, right? Except for, I forget, they're a Shadow Snorlax. So it definitely does more than 35%. They're able to take out my Snorlax. That's perfectly fine though. We don't really want to go shields down with that Gyarados still around. I'm going to come in now with my Dragonite and just hard farm down, leave with the Dragon Claw ready to go. The Gyarados is going to, of course, come back in. And we're going to be throwing this Dragon Claw immediately now. Remember, this Gyarados threw Crunch, meaning they likely don't have Aqua Tail. A lot of people are running Crunch and Hydro Pump right now. So I'm going to be able to stay in here, go for this next Dragon Claw, and I'm going to be swapping out. They should not quite be out of move. They're going to be extremely close. Like, I think if they stayed in here, they definitely got to it. But they swap out. So they're going to come in with the Excadrill. We're going to go for the EQ here and grab the final shield. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let Metagross go. It's done its job. Excuse me. Going to rely on my Dragonite, knowing that all these mud shots are double resisted. I'm going to be having to show up the Rock Slides, but I'm trying to get to a Superpower plus a Dragon Claw. Superpower, of course, to take out the Excadrill, and then the Dragon Claw to take out the Gyarados before they get to the Crunch. However, I recognize I'm just going to be like just short. So I chicken out. I go for the Dragon Claw here, and it's not enough. So I had to throw the second Dragon Claw. So now I'm just praying. I am praying that this Gyarados is not at a move. Are they at the move? They are not, and the Dragon Breaths take them out. I'm not sure if they had like one turn swap in there and just couldn't throw the first Dragon Breath. I know they were so close, but hey, I will take it. Guys, I had a lot of fun with this team. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Leave a like. We're going to end the video here. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to my channel members for your support. And until next time, this is ChillisFM reminding you to always keep pushing forward.